Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Now, basically, the thing is that we we are stopped the lecture from last few days because of some situations, which is your coronavirus. So, meanwhile, the thing is that we are going to start our lecture by the medium of e-learning, so that at home, whenever you are at home, you can just read because we don't have much time to lapse the classes. So meanwhile, everything like book, ppts, or whatever the supporting materials is, everything is uploaded in your edoweb. You can just go there and you can browse whatever the thing is, and I will also send you the email regarding the step by step what you will follow in which week. Okay, I'm also going to upload some videos whenever I found that, because for this course internet technology I found that I have to give some videos so that you can understand, because this course is a little bit different. That's why today I will try to upload some video. Now, if you remember in the last lecture, I discussed about how we change the font family and how we change the font size by the use of CSS. And I said that if you want to change font family like font face, like if you want to make italic, sorry, if you want to make Arial, New Times Roman, Tahoma, whatever you want to make, you can make with the use of uh, the property which is your font hyphen family colon. You have to give any value, whatever you want to change. Meanwhile, same thing that if you want to increase the font size, we can give like a font. There is a one property which is called font size, as you can see here. Font hyphen size, you can give the size. There is a possible values are a double x small, x small, small, smaller, medium, larger, larger, or you can also even give the some value like 12 pixel, 13 pixel, whatever you want you can give, so that they will increase the size. Okay, so we are discussing we discuss up to here. Now if you talk about here, uh, embedded style sheets, applying a style. In many cases, the style applies to an element, parent or some child also apply to the element and nested element. Like if suppose something you apply onto the parent, they are also going to inherit by the child. So of course, if some parent they have something, the child whatever they have, they are also going to inherit. So multiple values of one property can be set or inherited on the same element. So the browser must reduce them to one value for that property per element before they are rendered. So this is basically how we are going to apply the style sets. Now, if you come to here, which is called conflicting style sheet, how they are going to conflict each other. Now here, if you talk about here styles, we are going to define by three different ways. First one is user, author, or user agent. So first try to understand what are those three. First one, user means the people who use the that css. Author means same thing, that who write the css, means who write the css rule. Agent, user agent means the agent who use some agent, they are going to use the css. So now here the thing is that we are going to define the priority based on who do and when. So style or flow together such that the ultimate appearance of element on a page result from combining style defined in several different ways. Style defined by the user take precedence over style defined by the user agent. If suppose user write the some CSS rule, they are going to take the precedence. The priority of user become high than user agent. Now style defined by the author take precedence over style defined by the user. Now here the thing is that if suppose the author they define something, some rule, they are basically has the highest priority. Now if you talk about here user, now sometime what will happen, suppose there is a some page, if I want to view the page, what we will do, we will open the some browser like Internet Explorer or Google Chrome, whatever the thing is. Now there, if I want that the page whatever I am going to open, they will open into the some color or some font. Like I don't want the font in New Times Roman, which is by default. I want to see into the Tohama. So what we will do, we write the some CSS rule and we are going to upload into the browser so that whenever we open the page, they will use the same whatever we define there. This is about how they are conflicting each other. Now, if you talk about here, text decoration, this is a one property they are going to apply to an element. Like if you want to decorate the text, there is a one property which is called text hyphen decoration. Now, what are the possible values? The first one is underline. If you want to make something underline, if you write something like welcome, if you want to give underline, so there is a one property which is called text hyphen decoration colon give underline. So underline overline means, suppose if you write something, if you want to give some line over the text, then this is called overline. Line through means if you write suppose welcome and if you want to cut in between, then it is basically called line through. Whatever you write, it will cut from the mid of your text or whatever you write. Blink means the same thing, that they will blink like on off. Now this one, whatever they write here, I'm not going to discuss. I will discuss the same thing from here. Now this is a one CSS rule. They write into the embedded. Okay, because as all of you know, embedded, because of they write into the head section, that's why it is embedded. So please focus here and try to understand what they write the rule, because this is important to understand what are the rules. The first thing is that they write the rule body. Body is basically the one selector or one element. They write font family Arial, Helvetica, sans serif. That means the meaning of this line is that whatever you write into the body, they will make the font family into the Arial. If Arial is not available, they will go for Helvetica. So body means whatever you write inside the page. So it we are going to apply to the whole page. Now here a.nodec, this is basically called the pseudo class, which we use for the terms of your some anchor element or whatever we can use. Here, if you see here h1.em, there are two different type of selectors that they are using, h1 and em. That means if suppose you want to apply a rule on two different type of element means two different type of selector, then you can give comma and you can write whatever you want to write the rule. That means if you suppose same rule, if you want to apply to two element, you can give the name and you can separate by the comma, which he did here. So now this is the basically output of this code. Okay. So 1 minute, I will just give you something like a pseudo class. And here, if you talk about here, they are discussing the same thing, that conflicting style pseudo class. So first I will discuss this, then I will give the little bit example. Okay. Pseudo class give you access to content that is not declared into the document. Hover pseudo class is activated when the user move the mouse cursor over an element. There is suppose there is some element. If you want to write the code for hover, hover means when you put the mouse cursor on that line. This is called hover. Now here, as we know that relative length, the length, if you want to give the length, there are two type of length, which is called, first one is called relative, other one is called absolute. So relative length we are going to give into the form of px, which is called pixel. Like if you want to increase the size, we give into the terms of pixel. Pixel size varies depending on the screen resolution. Okay. Em usually the height of fonts uppercase, which is called m. Ex percentage. These are basically called the length in terms of relative, which are not basically absolute. Now if you want to absolute length measure, they are basically in the terms of your inches, centimeter, millimeter, point, pc. These are basically, there are two types of length which we are going to declare. First one is relative and another one is your absolute. So relative means there are pixel, em, ex, percentage. These are called the relative. Absolute, if you go, there is a some point, some inches, some centimeter. These are basically example of relative and absolute length. Now we come to here, linking external style sheet. As I discussed before that CSS, they are of three types: inline, embedded, and external. As I also discussed before that the CSS rule, I'm talking about no specific rule. They are same for all type of CSS, either it may be inline, embedded, or external. Rule remain the same, only the way of writing they are become the different, where you have to write, and also the scope, they are different. Now if you talk about, for example, for inline CSS, if you want to write, where you have to write into the particular element, right? And that they are going to change only on some specific selector or some specific element. Now if you come to the second one, which is called embedded. Embedded, if you write something, we have to write embedded CSS into the head section of the page, and they are going to apply whatever you write, all element into the page. Okay, this is page level. Now if you talk about last one, which is called external, they are basically project level. That means if you want to write anything, you have to write there. So I'm just going to give you the one example so that you can understand more. So for this, I'm just going to take one, if you want, I can take the notepad plus plus. Okay, this is notepad plus plus. So here what I'm going to do, I'll take the one new page, and here I will try to write the CSS rule. First I will use inline, then I will use embedded, and last I will use external. See, so I'm going to just write the rule so that they will change the paragraph font color. Suppose, so here remember, I'm just writing the HTML, not the full. I will write only which I need. So HTML, okay, open, close HTML. Okay, and now here we have to write what? Head, right? Head. Inside this we have title, close the title here, and finally close the head here. Better take the end of head and down. Now here we are going to have the body of the page. Close the body. So this is basically the one structure of any HTML page. So I give here CSS EXA. Okay, example. Save it. I just want to save it onto the desktop. I just take it from here, HTML hypertext markup language. I just give here test CSS dot HTML. Correct. Now here in body, I want to take paragraph. Okay, simple thing. I want to take three paragraph. Okay, so here I take paragraph, close paragraph, and I write here. What I write? I write simple thing. Okay, I write here welcome. I take another paragraph. Okay, I close the paragraph here. I write here University of Niswa. Okay, and also I take one more paragraph here. Here I write here, suppose e learning. Okay, now the thing is that if I want to change the first paragraph color, I want to change into the terms of red. How we change? Inline CSS. Remember, inline CSS. How we write? Inline CSS. The thing is that we have to write style equal double quotation. Inside this, we have to write the rule. Please focus here because this is very important. I'm just going to write the rule of all type now. We will just convert this into the form of all CSS. So here, color, how we change? Color colon give the value. What I said? Green. So give the green. Okay. Save it and run it. So where is this? Here, run it. See what will happen. So they will print three paragraph. Welcome here. So the thing is here, as you can see here, they will write into the terms of welcome University of Niswa e-learning because we have three paragraph. As I change here, if you see the code here, I change the color green of the first paragraph. That's why it is here change color green. Now again, if I want to increase the font size a little bit more, not font size, here in body, if I want that whatever we write into the body, they will change the font size to suppose 16 point. What we will do here, whatever we write into the body, so we can write into the body element style equal double quotation. What I said? Size. How we change size? Font hyphen size colon how much? 16 point, right? 16 pt. Okay, now see what will happen. Now this font size 16 they will make to all three paragraph whatever we write there, like welcome, University of Nizwa, e-learning, all these paragraph they will change the font size to 16 point. Now see here, refresh it. Now all this color, all this font size now become 16 point because I declare into the body. Also one more question. If I want that whatever I write into the body, they will change the family, the font face basically to Arial. How we do? Here, body, right? So we will do here font hyphen family. You can select from here, colon, give the value what you want. If suppose you want Tahoma, Tahoma, this is also the one type of font. Save it, go to there and refresh it. So now it all become Tahoma. But they are changing the color only of first paragraph. This is the example of inline. Now, same thing if I want to convert the same thing into the form of embedded CSS, how we convert it? We write here style, right? Style type equal text oblique CSS, and we are just going to close style here, right? Close style. Now, the thing is that how we change into the form of embedded. So this rule they are going to apply to paragraph to change the color. So this is the rule, actual rule, right? So this rule where they're going to change, they're going to change into the paragraph, right? So right here where they're going to change. So first the name of selector, which is your P, curly braces, write the rule inside this, which I copy from there. So now I will remove this. Okay. Now see what will happen. Can you imagine what will happen now? Now, the thing is that they will print whatever we write, welcome, University of Nizwa, e-learning into the green color. All three paragraph, they become into the green color. If you want, check it. All into the green color. Now here, suppose if I write something like here, heading 3, okay, close heading 3. And if I, heading 3, and if I write something here like cursor. So what will be the output now? This cursor, because we don't write any selector for H3, so they are not going to apply any CSS rule. So they will print welcome University of Nizwa e-learning into the green color, but this cursor they will become into the black color, but they are going to apply this one font size and font family. They are going to apply. Check. See here, cursor they are heading 3 without any type of without any styles. Now here same thing, this one whatever we write for body we are also going to write the same thing. We cut from here, we write here because we are using embedded, right? So we write here the name of selector body. Inside this we just give, okay. So what I did, nothing, just copy paste, right? Now if you want to see the real they are working or not, change it to 18 point. Before it was Tahma, now change it to Arial. Before it was green, now change it to yellow. Okay, now see they are going to change or not. See, they're going to change this one. Now this is the example of your embedded. Now we come to the last one, which is your external. So we said that external CSS also rule remain the same, only the thing is that the way of writing they will become different. Okay, now we will take the one new page. As external CSS they must have the file. So external CSS, what we will do here, this is the rule, right? This rule I will just cut from here, I'll paste here in the new file and save this file. Whenever you want to save this file there must be the extension CSS, cascading style sheet. Here CSS, give the name like CSS test dot css. It must be dot css. In this file they contain only the rule of css. They don't contain anything which is related to your html. Now here we have to change something. Nothing. No css is there. So if you want to use external css, we have to write with the use of, there is a one tag you can see here. See here, external style sheet are separate document that contains only CSS rule. They will not contain any HTML. They will contain only CSS rule. They are basically how they help to create a uniform look for a website. They are going to help you to create a one website which they have common look and feel, or you can say it is a uniform look and feel. Separate pages can all use the same styles. Modify a single style sheet file, make changes to style across an entire website or a portion of one. So when changes to the style are required, you need to modify only a single CSS file to make style changes across all the pages that use those styles. This concept is sometimes known as skinning. That means suppose for example, you are going to create a one website and they have 50 pages, suppose, because you cannot create the website with the use of one page. One single page, you cannot create a website. Suppose you are going to create a one website and there are 50 pages. Okay, done. You finish it. But later your company say that no, I want to change the font color to green to all our website. What you will do? There is a one solution is that you have to open each 50 page. You have to write their font color, which is very difficult. Okay, which is a little bit time consuming. On if you have a small number of page, you can do it. But if you have large number of page, then it is not feasible to change. If you forget something, if suppose there are 50 page, if you do in 20 page, you forget 10 page or you forget 5 page, so this will become confusing. So here what we will do, we have one central file. We can just go to that particular file. We will change only at one position. They are going to change on all the pages whatever you have in your website. Either it may be 50, 500, 5,000, whatever, that doesn't matter. You are just going to change only at one place. Also, they are going to separate the design from presentation. Means you are going to write your HTML tags into the one page, and presentation like you look and feel, you are going to write into the another page, which is your CSS file. So they are going to separate. Now we want to whatever we write before. Okay, let me see this. CSS comments, they are placed in any type of CSS codes, either it may be inline, embedded, or external, and they are going to use the same comment which you are using in your C or C++. That means backslash star and star backslash, they are going to end. So this is the same way they are using. Now this is the one rule here. If you talk about here, this is the one rule they write into the one CSS file. This they write from previous one. Now here, if you talk about here, how you will use, see here, you have to use with the attribute which is called link. Link or rel equal, you have to define what is this. You are going to use a style sheet, right? Right here, style sheet. Okay, you have to define here what will be the type. Type equal, what is the type? Type will be text oblique CSS. Okay, and now you are going to close the link which they write here. Okay, so there is no need to close this one. There is no need to close link. So this one, if you want to use the external CSS, we have to write link rel equal style sheet type equal text oblique CSS. And now here you have, okay, sorry, what will happen? Okay, now here there is a one property which is called href equal. Now here you have to give the name of the external CSS file which you create. Now what is the name of file? You can see here, which is your CSS test dot css. Now here remember what I discussed before, that href means hyperreference. You are just going to give the name of the file which you create, the external CSS file. But if your CSS file and HTML file, if they are both are in the same folder, then there is no need to give the full URL. They are in the different folders, then you have to give the full location. So they are in the same place. I just save it. Now I want to change something into the CSS. so that you will see the difference. I change the color of paragraph to suppose red. Now here I make it into the 28 point. Okay, font family I will leave at Arial. Now just go to the browser and check what will happen. So see here, everything red. So that means every CSS rule are same, just only the way of writing are different. Inline we write into the particular element, embedded we write into the head section of the page, and they are going to apply to only one page. If you talk about external, they are going to apply to the whole page, whatever you have. So this is the same thing here we discuss. So this is the same thing. Now if you talk about positioning, we will do into the next video, we will discuss about positioning. So now I'm going to stop up to here.